Hey friends, welcome to fscript.info. My name is Rizwan Khan and I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to develop a corona tracking system. So in this current pandemic situation, we are all suffering with this and we cannot go outside of our home a lot. So we should utilize our time mostly in learning something new. So I thought of developing this application so you can learn something new and yeah, that's it. So what we are going to do, we are going to learn how to make an API call using Axios. We are going to learn how to create an instance of Axios API so we can make multiple API calls without reusing the base URL of the API, right? We are also going to learn how to use Graph API. So we know one open source graph library, that is chat.js. So we are going to see how we can integrate that chat.js library with our React.js application. So this is a very simple application. In this application, we can see the worldwide coronavirus report as well as we can see the country wise. So if you select one of the country, you can see the data of last 7 days, last 30 days, or last 90 days. You can change this pattern according to your style. So like I have the knowledge of India, so let's see the India. And yeah, so you can see it takes little time. Maybe my internet connection is a bit of slow. So it fetches data of India, and this is the last 7 days data. As you can see, this is the 23rd of July 2020, and the cases are almost 12,88,000. And you can also match this data like 12,88,108. So this is the today's data, and the last then the 22nd of July, and so on. So we can see the last 7 days data, as well as we can see the last 30 days data, as well as we can see the last 90 days data. So it is going to be very clumsy, like what happened in the last 90 days. You can see how many viruses spread across the country. So this works like that, and you can change it to last 7 days again. So let's continue with our project. And first let's create a project folder. So I'm going to use git bash. This is my existing git bash. You can download a git bash if you're interested in this git bash, or you can also use command prompt. So there is no issue, both are same thing, just there are color difference. Okay, so let me close this my existing application so I can run my new application on the same port. So yep, so this is closed, and let's open your browser again, and let's close this localhost 3000. So now this is my channel. If you want to become a full stack developer, if you want to learn everything from front end to the back end, then you can subscribe this channel, and it really I would really appreciate that. So the next thing, if you want to learn something very advanced, then I have this blog project using React.js. So this is all about how you can create multi-layer application, so multi-page applications with multiple components as well as containers. So in this project, you are going to learn very advanced UI layout that is going to be helpful for your future projects, or you are going to develop an advanced project. Then again, I have recently developed this React chat application. So this is a web messenger application. So in this application, I have used Redux, as well as this is a messenger. So there is not a lot of layouts, but yeah, again, you can learn about authentication in this application, like how you can create private routes, or how you can create normal routes, how you can make your user online, how you can make your user offline. So there are a lot of things in this application you can learn. This is around 10 videos. Again, I have a separate video of like Redux. If you want to learn Redux, you can go to the videos tab, and here I have the Redux almost 1 hour video. So you can, if you want to learn advanced things about Redux, then you can watch this video. So guys, please take a moment, pause the video, and just scroll a little bit, and please subscribe it. Thank you. So let's continue our project. New tab, close this, and let's go your git bash or cmd, whatever you have. Let's clear it, or in case of cmd, it is cls. Now I'm going to create a new project. So we'll say npx create react app, and then we'll give a name like coronavirus tracking system. You can also find this project source code in the description of this video. So yeah, you can find it. So it is going to take a little bit of time. Meanwhile, we are going to see what we are going to use. So here, so first thing we are going to use Axios, right? So this is again, we can also use fetch, but fetch has a very limited feature. We cannot do a lot of things with fetch, but Axios is like amazing thing. We can centralize our API. We can create a centralized API, and then we can use the instance of that API to make the calls, right? So you're going to see those things, right? So now this is the Axios, and this is one of the very popular library. As you can see, the weekly downloads, and the size is also not very big. This is a small library, so there is no issue to using this, but it has a lot of feature. What I was talking, like you can create the instance, and then you can use the rest of the part of the API with any kinds of methods like get, post, put, patch, and there are other features we can learn and in a separate videos, or maybe the e-commerce or other videos. Okay, cool. Now the another library we are going to use, that is nothing but React number format. So we'll say number. So now we are going to deal with big numbers, like the number of viruses across the country, 1 million or 2 million. So we are going to use number formatting library. It's again a very small library. It will allow you to separate your thousands with comma. So that's basically allows to use separators. So here it is. It's a very simple, just import this library number format, and then again you can use it. So the assuage is over here. How you can use this is it's just number format, and then you pass the value, specify the type. If you're not going to specify the type, display type, then it is going to be an input. 1000 separator, again attribute, like should be true prefix. Okay, now okay, the next thing we are going to use chat.js. So we'll say chat dot simply say the Google, so it will easy to find it. So chat react chat dot js. So here this is the library first link. Okay, and you can see the name of the library is react-chat.js-2. So this is the second version of basically it's the React version of this library, chat.js library. So here again you need to install again a chat.js. So this is a dependency for React chat.js, right? So you have to install both of them, and again there are a couple of examples you can learn from them. So there are example folder, you can go inside src folder, and we have components, and like these are the number of graphs available you can use. So then basically there are bar graph, bubble, crazy line, I don't know, donut, dynamic donut, horizontal, legend handlers, I don't know, line graph, mix, pie, polar, error. So we are going to use this line graph in this project. So let's open this line graph, and here is this line graph. So we are going to use this line graph. We just need to import this line, and this takes only one property, that is data. That's it. In data we can specify a lot of things like the line of the color, width of the color, and the background color of the graph. So it's like it gives you all kinds of features you can use. So it's very flexy. I will show you. Okay, so so now installation of React.js is completed, and you can see the last message, happy hacking. Now let's navigate to the project and install the required libraries. So we'll say cd coronavirus tracking system, and again we'll clear our bash. Now here we are going to install this npm install -save. We'll install Axios. We'll install react-number -format. We'll also install wait, so we'll install everything at once. Just go back again. Okay, so we have to install react chat.js and chat.js. Copy, let's go here, and here we're going to paste. So react-chat.js2 and chat.js. So basically 1 2 3 4 libraries. Let's hit enter, and it will take few moments to complete the installation. Meanwhile, we are going to see the project. Okay, so the installation of chat.js, Axios, ReactJS, and React number format has been completed. And now we are going to open this project in our VS Code. So you can use any text editor, whatever you want. So I'm using VS Code. This is kind of good for JavaScript based applications. Let's close your welcome tab. And this is the basic architecture of ReactJS. And SRC is one of the most important folder, and I'm not going to discuss every other folders. And if you want to know, you can watch my basic tutorials or ReactJS fundamental videos. Okay, so SRC, and here we have app.js. So we are going to modify a few things. Also, let's start the development server. Before starting, npm start. So it will start our development server for this project. Okay, so now this application is running. We are going to remove this things. It is not our requirement, right? So let's go back to your text editor and remove logo.svg. This is not our requirement. Save, and also we are going to remove logo svg from here. So we'll simply delete this and move to recycle bin. Let's go app.js and let's remove this text. Okay, cool. Save, and then we have app.test.js file, index.css, and you can keep it, it's not a problem. Index.js is fine, and app.css. So except app, we don't need anything else. So here we are going to remove except this app. Okay, so text line kind of center is fine, and app.js. We are going to create a folder. So as this is not a multi-page application, this is a single page application, so we are not going to create the containers folder, right? If you want to learn about multi-page application, then you can follow my ReactJS blog project. So we'll say components, cool, and we have app.js, we have imported app.css, fine. This is the basic application. Let's save it, and now let's go to the components folder and let's create a folder, not folder, file. We'll say a line graph. We are going to use line graph, right? So line graph.js, and line graph, here we will open this file. Okay, components line graph, where is line graph? Okay, that's not a file, that's a folder. So we'll create a file, line graph.js, and here I'm using React snippets. You can also install that plugin. So if you type RFC, it will give you the hint, and once you'll get this whole component line graph. How you can download is just very simple. Just go to this plugin section, extensions, and type React snippets. You'll get a couple of options. Select any one of them and click on install. That's it. Let's save, and line graph. Okay, we'll say line graph, and go to app.js and import your line graph over here. Line graph, cool, and this automatically imported line graph over here. Save. Now let's go and reload, and you can see our text line graph. So it's working fine. Now let's go line graph and use your graph. So we'll say first we will import the line, import from React Chat JS2, and here we are going to import line graph. So we'll say line, and we will use that line over here. So line, no, it's just line, right? Save, and the data, there are a lot of things mentioned over here, right? So let's go to that example again. So here is the data. So this is the data property which takes a data object. So let's copy this object from here, copy and paste over here. So we'll say data equals to this and this. So now let's format this document, and here, so this is it is looking big, but it's very simple. Just let me explain you. So what it has, it has a label. So this is basically going to be in our x-axis, like January, February. So you can replace with numbers, you can replace with dates, months, whatever you want. Then again we have data sets, and here we have the name of the label. So it's like your data set name, and fill false or true If you make it true, then you will see a background color, else it will be false. You can also keep it transparent by using the background color. Line tension, it's like a width of widths between points. And then border color, you can learn the name are itself explanatory, so you don't need to worry about that. And the important thing you can see here, that's a data. So it takes an array which are nothing but the numbers. So this is going to be plot over the y-axis, right? So these are the points we can draw the line. Okay, now this is what we have. So let's save this line graph and let's go to your application, and here, and you can see, boom, what we have. So this is our graph, and hopefully this is responsive. So it is also responsive, and that's a good thing. And we are going to resize this. Okay, so let's go to your text editor and use your div tag. We'll say over here style equals to, I'll say the width, that is going to be 600 pixel, and then we'll say height, this is again going to be 600 pixel. Margin, so it is going to be center, right? So 0 or maybe 50 pixel from top and bottom, left, right, auto, so it will be centered. Okay, now you can see this is in the center, right? These are the points, these are the labels, January, February, March. Okay, these numbers are generated automatically based on your y points. Okay, so highest the point, this 85 is going to be like that. Okay, and that's it. Now let's go back your app.js, and here we are going to say div, and then again we are going to say the div, and here we are going to write h1 tag. We'll say worldwide corona report. Save. Now go back and we'll say worldwide corona report. Right now we are going to create a couple of cards over here. So we'll say div, and here okay, first create the card. Okay, so let's create a card component. In this components, we'll say card.js and rfc. Now write card, save, and here it is. So we'll give it a name, class name equals to card. So as this is a small application, so I'm not going to create a style sheet for this card, but I will use a global app.css. So this is globally available. I will say over here card, we'll say the background color white, and padding let's say 20 pixel, and box hyphen sizing, that is going to the border box, and what else, hint me guys. Okay, so cool. So this is card, right? Box shadow, that makes actually looks like a card. Box shadow 0 0 10 pixel 0 and kind of gray color. And also let's take the border. Okay, now let's import your card over here. Save, and we'll say card, and it's imported automatically, right? Card will pass our data, so we'll use like that. Here we are going to say span total confirmed cases. We'll use a br tag, then we'll use again a span, let's say 0 for the moment. Save it. Now let's copy this card, save. Now let's go, and you can see we have the block level cards. So again, I'm going to wrap this inside a div, so I can assign the flex property over here. Save. Okay, we'll say style display flex. Okay, now it is like that. And where's the span? 0, right? Okay, the mistakes is in your card. I haven't written a props.children. So we'll say props.children. It is like that. Total confirmed, total recovered, and total deaths, right? App.js, total confirmed, total recovered, and total deaths. Save, reload, and this is fine. So let's make it center. Justify content, and it's going to be center. And here it is, right? Now also we are going to take this out from this, so we can keep our code clean. So we'll say where it is ending, div. Let's copy this. We'll say a COVID summary. Okay, so I haven't created this component yet, so let's create it. Go inside components and we'll say COVID summary.js rfc and COVID summary. Now let's replace this content with this. So COVID summary.js, let's save, and let's go your app.js file, import COVID summary from components COVID summary, right? Now let's remove this card. It is not required, but it is required inside card, right? Inside COVID summary. So I'll say over here, import card from card, right? And this is fine, right? Now let's go app.js COVID summary, let's save, and this is as it is, no change, so everything is working fine. So here we are going to say total confirm equals to 0, total recovered equals to 0, and total deaths 0, and country, which country is going to be something, right? So let's say for the moment India. Cool. So country India. Right now it is like that. We now go to your COVID summary and extract the props. Let's format it first. Format document, and we'll say const equals to props, and over here we are going to say everything like what we have. App.js. We'll take these things, copy COVID summary, paste over here. Now let's remove this, comma, and we'll remove this also. So we are destructuring this props. Okay, now we'll say here and this is worldwide, right? So here we are going to say something like country equals to empty. Then we'll say, obviously if country is empty, it means it's a worldwide report. So we'll say worldwide corona report, else it is going to be country. Save. Now you can see this is India, and this is 0 because we have assigned 0, right? Now let's integrate the API, right? So we'll go and search for the Corona API. Let's go to the Google first. Oh, what happened? Not GP. We'll say by mistake I've searched GP. Say Corona virus API. Right, so this is the from the Postman, COVID-19 Postman. You can select any one of them, Postman COVID-19 Resource Center. There are a couple of documentation about different APIs. So COVID-19 API, coronavirus, COVID-19 tracker REST API. This is what I'm looking for, coronavirus COVID-19 API.com. So let's go to the documentation. and here we have this APIs. So this is from the Postman. You can use the Postman and install in your system. You can check the APIs in the Postman. We can also check these APIs in the browser because this is a GET request. So the first API is default. This is nothing but the every details of other APIs. So it's basically the details of other APIs. Summary, you can get the summary of the whole report, like global as well as the country wise. So it is going to give you an array of countries, so we can see the current report of till today, how many viruses are spread across different countries and in the world, right? So here we have countries, day one report, and the by country. So this is the by country here with this API. So this takes a parameters like from date and to date. So with the help of this API, we can get the range of range values like from last 7 days or last 30 days or last 90 days. So let's first use the summary API. That's a kind of important for all of us. Copy, and let's go to your text editor, and I'm going to create first instance of our Axios. So we'll create Axios.js. So this is a file. We'll import Axios, import Axios from Axios, right? Now export, const Axios instance equals to, you can create Axios dot create. This is the method from the Axios. It takes an object, and here you can define a lot of things. So right now I'm going to define base URL. So we'll say what is this base URL, right? So this is actually the base default. Copy this whole thing and paste over here, right? So till.com. So this is our base URL, and rest of the remaining part of the API will attach whenever we are going to call it, right? Now let's export this. Export default. I will say Axios instance, right? Or save it. Apart from this base URL, you can also predefine your headers, tokens, and a lot of other things. Let's save it, and let's go to your app.js file, and here we are going to write a function. Let's say use effect. So this is a hook, like within the hook components, and we can use this as a component dead mount in our case, and this is a single page application. So I'm not going to create a lot of actions and anything, so I'm using itself over here. You can, if you want to learn like how to create actions, how to create reducers, then definitely go and watch my other React.js project videos. That is going to help you to learn a lot of other things, right? Especially React chat application, right? So here we are going to call it. It is like component dead mount, component dead mount. Cool. Now here we are going to call the API. So we'll say Axios. First import that. Import Axios from, that's Axios, right? So this is what we have created. We'll say Axios dot get, and the remaining part of the URL is summary. So you can copy it, paste over here. This is a summary. We can call it like this. So when this Axios get request will be complete, it will return a promise. We can handle that promise with then and catch. So we are going to get a response over here, and we are going to handle that response over here. Console.log res, and if the network failure or anything wrong happen, we are going to handle an error too in the catch block. So we'll say console.log and error, right? Let's save it. Now let's see this API is working or not. So let's go to your React application, inspect, go to console, and now let's reload your application. And you can see we have got a response, and the status of the response is 200, and we have got a property data. Within the data, we have the actual response from the server. So this is basically providing countries, current date, and the global. So global will give you the new confirmed cases, new deaths, new recovered, total confirmed, total deaths. So we are going to use total confirmed, total recovered, and total deaths. You can also specify a new confirmed just after this total deaths. Means it's all totally up to you. Whatever you want, you can do, right? So let's use this total confirmed and other things. So we'll create some state values. So let's go and const, and we'll say here
total confirmed right? And we'll set total confirm. Okay, now here we'll say use state, and this is going to be a number, so we'll say 0. Let's copy this 3 times, total confirm. Now we'll say total recovered, and we'll say set total recovered. Here we will say the total deaths, and then total deaths.
Total deaths, right? Total deaths and all, everything is initially 0. We'll also add a const for the loading, like API call will take a few moments, so till then we'll show something, some message like fetching the data from the server or like that. So loading and set loading user state, and here it is going to be false initially, and we'll say before the return statement, if loading is true, then return paragraph tag or anything you can return right now. Paragraph will say fetching data from server, from API or server, whatever you want you can write, right? Let's reload it, and right now it is false, so you cannot see the effect, but now you are going to see it. Now let's make it set loading true. Once the API call completed, we'll again set loading, that is going to be a false, right? So yep, let's go reload it, and you can see for the moment fetching data from API, right? You can also center this, so that's not important right now, right? So now let's set other details. So here we are going to get something like set total confirm, and we'll say okay, before this we'll check the status of the response. If res dot status triple equals to 200, then we will process other things, right? So we'll say set confirm, we'll say the res, then it has a property called data, then it has a global as a property, and then total confirm, right? So this is here capital T, you can see over here. So data, and then we have global capital G, and then total confirm. Now copy this 3 times, and here it is going to be total recovered, and here it is going to be deaths. Copy and paste, and copy again. It has also given the total. Okay, it's already saved, right? So let's give a semicolon, so it looks like, yeah, it's ending over here. Now here we are going to use this total confirm in our COVID summary. Total confirm, total recovered, and total deaths, right? Let's go API call, and we have got our total confirmed cases, total recovered, and total deaths around the world. It's not India, right? So that's problem we have to fix. So we have given India over here, right? Let's skip, and you can see the worldwide corona report, worldwide total confirmed cases, and total recovered, and total deaths, right? So let's go back, and again we are going to create some input handler, right? We'll say div, and we'll say select, we'll say, so we have to set this summary, we have to save that summary in the state so we can use that. Okay, so here we are going to say set, we'll create a state value again, const, we'll say COVID summary, and set COVID summary, that is going to be use state again, and let's take it as an empty object. Cool, and let's go down, and here we are going to say set COVID summary, and we'll say the rest dot data. So this is going to provide 3 data like global and countries and one more. Okay, so that is data, I think. So okay, set COVID summary, and let's go your select option. Here we are going to use map function. So here we are going to say the COVID summary dot countries. Okay, and so if COVID summary dot country exists, means the API call is completed and everything. So we can loop through it. COVID summary dot countries dot map. Okay, and here we're going to say the country, and here we're going to use option tag. Okay, now here we're going to use a country value. So country dot, it's a country, right? So I'm not sure. Let's see, data countries, so it's a capital C, cool, and then it's an array. The value is capital C again. So this is countries, like that. Okay, let's remove this. Let's take it down. Okay, let's format your document. Okay, this is like that. Also it needs a value, so we'll say over here same thing. No, not same thing. It also provides a slug, so we can use the as a value, like country value. So country dot slug, save, right? Now let's reload, and you can see we have countries, right? Also we have the country value, that is as a slug, and also we are going to provide a key because we are looping through it. So we'll say the country slug. Let's copy this, paste over here, save. Now let's reload. The error is gone. Also we are going to add one more select option, select, and then we are going to have option, and this is, we are going to hard code it, right? So this is nothing but last 7 days. Now let's copy this 3 times, last 30 days, or you can also write like last 1 week data, last 2 week data, last 1 month data. Okay, so here we're going to say 90 days. The value will be simply equals to 7. Here it is going to be 30, and here it is going to be 90. Okay, and this again we are going to set this value equals to days. So we haven't created this thing, and we are also going to write on change. So first we'll write days and we'll create days, okay, as a state. Const days set days equals to use state, and here the default value is 7, so the last 7 days data, right? So the default value is 7, and also here it is going to be a value, right? So the default value will be nothing, and we'll say the country, and over here we are going to create country const, and we'll say country and set country equals to use state, and here we are going to say the empty for the default case, like because initially we are showing the worldwide data, right? Country set country, right? And here it is country. Now also we are going to write on change. We'll say country handler, change handler, or something like that. Country handler is fine. Let's go and write a function. So before loading, we are going to write over here const country handler equals to event. It is going to get an event. Now let's go down, and here we are going to say set country, and here we are going to say the e dot target dot value. So whatever the country will select, that will be selected as a default as a value, right? Country value. So that's one thing. And also we are going to handle the days const, and we are going to handle days. So let's first create the on change. So here we have select days, change, on change, and we'll say days handler. Let's copy this. Now let's go up and create days handler equals to event, and we'll say over here set days, and that is going to be event.target.value, right? So we have binded our input with the component, right? So now let's reload, and everything is working as expected, no issue up to now. Now let's go down, and so we are going to call an API to get the last 7 days data, last 30 days data, right? So we'll write a function const get corona report by date range. Okay, so this is a long name but makes sense to me. Here we are going to specify the country slug, and then from date, and then to date, right? And here we are going to call that API. So we'll say Axios dot get. Let's save it, and now let's go COVID-19 by country, and this is what. So this is the base URL we have already added. Now we'll add from here, copy and paste over here. Okay, so this is a big enough. So country, this is a South Africa, right? So we'll replace this with our placeholder country slug, status confirmed from. So we're going to replace this with dollar from. The next part is just 00, so it's basically the time. You can see the 24 hour, 12 hour and minute, and then again we have then to date. So we are going to replace this also. We'll say $2. Okay, so we are getting all of these things as a parameter over here, and once this API call is completed, we are going to get a response. So that's nothing but a promise, and we can handle that promise with then and catch. Then, and we'll say the response console.log say res, right? And then we are going to get catch, handle the error, and we'll say console.log, and we'll display the error. So if network failure or anything wrong happened, then we'll go to the catch block and we'll display the error in the console, right? So let's see the console this. So it's we have to call this get corona report by date range. Let's copy, and whenever we are going to change the country, we are going to call this get corona report by date change, right? So let's call it over here. Okay, now what we need the country. So that's nothing but e.target.value. That's a slug, e.target.value. The next thing we need from and to date. So how we are going to get that? So from is like starting date. You want data of from the 3rd month to the 4th month, or from the 3rd month to the 7th month, right? So in this way I'm going to create something called like for the current date as a from date, right? Const from. So we're going to start from some date. Oh no, sorry, current date is going to be the 2 because we are going to end on that. We'll say the new date, and then const and from. So from is going to basically the last the 7 days, right? So the new date minus 7 days, something like that. So yeah, so we are going to create again one more function to format our date, because new date gives some long date information with a lot of global and zone details, right? So we'll use a function format date. We'll take date as input, or we'll say the date, right? And we are going to return something. So we're going to return the expected date, what we are expecting in the API. So here we are going to use again const t equals to new date and pass date parameter. So it will give you the date, whatever date we will pass, and then we are going to return it, right? So we have to get the we want to return something like that. So 2020 minus year, a month, this is 05, and date, let's say 04. So when we will use new date function, we can get all of these individually using the date object. Like we can use d dot get full year, get month, and get date. So the problem with those is let me show you what is the problem. So this is the const we'll say the year is fine. You will say, we can say the get d dot get full year, so it will give a 2020 or something like that. Next is month. So here we are going to get d dot get month, right? So this month is going to return something like 1 2 3 4 till 11. So it is starting from the 0 and ending with 11. Means if you are saying December, it means 11, not 12. So we have to say +1, right? So this is one thing. Another thing is we need a leading 0 in this case. So leading 0 means if you are saying 12, then that is fine. But if you are saying 5, there is no 0, and in the format we need 0. So we have to convert something like that. So we'll say curly braces, sorry, backticks, and wrap your variables. Okay, so here it is like that, and we will add a leading 0. So what is going to happen if I'm going to say 5, then it is going to be 05 or 06, something like that. But what if 12? So for the 12 case, we need to slice, we'll say -2. So what in case of 12, it is going to generate an input like when we say 12, so the input will be 0 12, and after the slice function it will be again 0 again 12. So slice is going to be removed like -2. It will go start from the 0 and it will go -2. So it is going to remove it. Just Google it. Const next is date, right? So date, I have already this date over here. So let's change the name, underscore date equals to let's say d dot get date, right? So this is fine. Now let's return this. So we'll return over here year hyphen month hyphen date. So year, month, date. Okay, now let's go back to your country handler function, and here we have date, right? So let's create a const d equals to new date. So this is our current date, right? We will use our format function, format date, and then we'll pass d. So it will give the current date in the correct format. Again, we'll use format date. Now we will use d because we want to subtract 7 from the current date. So we'll use d dot set date function to set the date, and then again we'll use a d to get the date, right? So current date minus 7, right? So it will give us the correct format, right? So yeah, and also we need to say new. Okay, that's fine, we are using new date, right? So this d dot set date get date. Okay, let's save it and let's see the output first. Console.log, and we'll see the from and to. Close this and comment this line. Now let's go your browser and let's reload your application. Let's change the country, and here we have year, and this is wrong, right? Okay, the problem is here we have written date, it's actually underscore date, right? Save it. Now let's reload your application. Now let's select the country, and this is what we are expecting, right? So this is the correct format we want. So this is the last 7 days when I'm saying, so this is the 17 and this is the 24, right? So you can subtract 7 from 24, then you will get 17, right? So it's working well. So let's comment this line again and use your get corona and pass the from date and then to date. Okay, get corona report by date range, and it is going to give us the report. Now let's reload. Now let's select India. Where is India? India, right? So we have got the response of last 7 days. As you can see, the data is an array, and this is has 7 values. So this is the data of last 7 days. So you can see the cases is one thing we have. So this is the cases on the last 7 days. So the 6, this is the today's cases in India. Those are the confirmed cases, and the cases are almost 12,88,000. So you can compare it with this. If you see the India, then you can see the India, right? So this is where we want. So let's go and write your code for that. So this is nothing but data dot cases. and here we are going to say, so we'll say const, and we'll say so this is going to be plotting over the axis, right? So this is values like 0, y, and again some x value, then y, and then again some x value, then y, and then so these are the plotting points. So we can call it y coordinates. So we'll say y axis, and we'll say the corona, okay, corona count equals to we'll say res dot data dot map, then we'll d, and then we'll use t dot cases. So this is going to be an array, right? Now we'll write again a state function. We'll create a state value, right? We'll say the corona count equals to corona count array, set corona count array. We'll say use state, and this is going to be an empty array. So corona count array. Now let's set this. Set corona count array, and we'll set this y axis corona count. Save. Now it is going to be add here. Say y axis equals to, and we'll say y axis. Yeah, that is fine. So we'll say corona count array. Save. Now let's go your component line graph, and here you are going to say, instead of array, we'll say props dot y axis. Okay, let's check one more time. So y axis type, it's cool, right? Now let's reload, and you can see right now your array is empty because we haven't selected any country. So let's select some country. Let's select again India. This is what I know. Yeah, so this is the graph of India of last 7 days. You can see the date of first data set, that's a 12,88,000, right? And the total confirm, we need to change this also, total confirm, total recovered, when we are changing the country. So let's change it. Let's go your corona report, okay, corona report range, and here we're going to say the set total. So first we need to find out what we are going to set. So we have the COVID summary, right? So we can get the country-wise report, COVID summary dot countries dot map. This is countries and array, so we can use the map function here. Okay, we are going to find right, so we are going to use find function, and we'll say the country, and here we are going to say the country. So what we are going to get, country 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 dot we'll say the slug, country dot slug triple equals to, and here we have country slug. So you can see we are getting the country slug as input. So that's, I'm just comparing. If both are matched, then we'll return that object, right? So let's get it. Const COVID details. Okay, so we'll say over here set total confirm COVID details dot, what is this? So let's go data, and again here data countries, and here it is. So this is nothing but total confirm. Let's copy, okay, and we'll copy it 3 times. Total confirm, total recovered, and here we are going to say total deaths, right? And here we are going to say total deaths, total recovered. Okay, so this is capital D. Save. So as we are updating this state values, so automatically this is going to reflect over here, and we'll see the change. Let's go and change the country, and you can see this is changed, this has been changed. Now let's select India. India, and the total cases is around 12,88,000, right? So this is working well, and we have the last 7 days data by default because we have hard coded it. Yes, you can see where is our format. Yeah, so this is our format, right? So country handler. So here we are going to say right now we have the state, right, days, and default value is 7, so we are going to use days. Instead we are going to use, right, we'll say days. Cool. So that's now this is not hard coded. We'll use we'll add this. We'll also generate the labels. It's now January, February, so we are going to generate date. So we are going to get date also in this. If you're going to select like Australia, right? So okay, Australia has too much data, I think. So we'll see over here, and the data, the last 7 days data, Azerbaijan, and if you see the country, we have this date. We are going to make this x-axis label. So we'll say const and x-axis label. This is just label, right? So x-axis label will say res dot data dot map d, and we'll say d dot date. Now we'll create the state again, const, and we'll say over here label set label, right? Use state, and it's going to be an array, empty array. So let's go and save your x-axis label, or set label, and here we're going to say the x-axis label. Copy, let's paste over here. Okay, now here it is. So the set label, x-axis label. Okay, and now let's pass the label over here for axis. Let's say label equals to x-axis label. So this is again an array. Let's go to the graph, and this is a label, right? So we'll replace this. Actually it's going to be the props dot label. Save. Now let's go. X-axis label is not defined. Okay, let's go app.js. X-axis label is not defined. Oh, that's just label, right? So this is actually x-axis label is a local variable in the function. That's here. So let's select India, and this is the cases, number of cases in India, and this is also not changing, so we have to make this work. Also this, now this is working, total confirmed cases, deaths, and recovered. This is very long, so this is not looking very good. So we are actually, you can count this. This is the number we have to get the substring, that is the date, and the rest thing is just 000. So this is a date is a 4 digit, that is, and then month is 2 digit. 4 plus 2 6 plus 2 8, and these two hyphen, that is 10, right? So let's go and go to your line graph, and here we have props.label. So here we will use a map function, so it will return an array l, say the l dot substring. This is a function starting from 0 and ends with 10. Let's reload and select any country, and okay, some of the countries are having a lot of data. So if you're seeing the last 7 data, then it is going to give you a lot of data. Like you can see the dates are repeating. This is the graph API. This is the data from the API. We can't do anything. Select the Australia. This is kind of normal. So here we have Austria, and this is like a normal date again. Okay, so this is fine. And let's work on this worldwide corona report. So yep, let's go app.js, and so here we have a country, right? So we'll say country. Let's go to your COVID summary, and yep, this is fine. So let's reload and okay, select, and you can see Antigua. So this is a slug, that's why you're seeing hyphen. You can also create a variable to get the country name, right? Bangladesh. So let's make it give it some style so it will look better. COVID summary, and we'll say style, text, transform, capitalize, okay, capitalize. Now let's reload, and yeah, it's working. Austria is capitalized, right? Now also one thing we have to do, this is initially the some countries already selected. If you reload the page, the Afghanistan is selected, but we are not getting the Afghanistan data, so it should be something like select country instead of Afghanistan. So let's go app.js, and here is our option, which is displaying the country list. Let's say select country, and the value is going to be empty. Now we are getting some idea, like we have to select country, right? This is the global data, total confirmed. Okay, so let's select Albania, and we have got Albania data with, and this, the feature of this API, you are also getting animation without a lot of effort and much. Right now we are getting the 7 days data. We have to make 30 days also, right? So it's not working. So let's go and work again. So this is date handler. Okay, now let's go, and where is your date handler function? So days handler function, right? So here we have, here we just need to call this get corona, that's it, get corona report by date range, and here we have to say the country, so that's already in the country state, so this is nothing but the state value, so we can easily get it, country, and then we are going to say the from and to, right? So from and to, so we'll simply copy this 3 line, copy and paste over here, and instead of using days, I will use e.target. So this is the current value, right? Setting set days will work later. Okay, now select Albania, and this is the data of Albania, and last 30 days, and we have got the last 30 days data, so starting from the 23rd of July and ending with 24. If you count, if you subtract 30, then you will get this date, right? You can also get the last 90 days data. This graph is like that, so Albania is like in trouble, right? So this is working well, right? Now we are going to use the number format, so when we are reloading it, you can see the number is very big, and this is almost unreadable. So let's use the graph React number API, right? So let's go your line graph, card, no, COVID summary, yes. So here we are displaying the total confirmed cases, right? So let's import number format from react hyphen number format. Now we'll use this number format, will pass a value equals to this one, total confirmed, paste over here, and we'll say the display type is going to be text. Okay, now let's reformat it, so it is going to be like this, and couple of more property like 1000 separator is going to be true, right? And there is no prefix, so let's reload it, and you can see we have got comma, so we can easily count it like so we have got this comma, and you can read it very easily, right? Also you can design it if you're interested. Close your span. So we have got a very beautiful number, we can easily read it. We can also see the country-wise data, Angola, and also last 90 days data, last 30 days data. So the part is remaining is like designing. So yes, you can design it, you can specify the color, that's a kind of cool thing. And so this project is about like how you can create API instance, how you can call the APIs, how you can set your variables and data, how you can integrate this graph. So guys, if you like this video, please take a moment, pause the video, and press the subscribe button, right? and also share this video with your friends, whoever wants to learn React.js, and whoever wants to become a full stack developer. So definitely subscribe this channel, right? Also, let me tell you a few things about the graph so you can modify it. Okay, so we'll go and let's say the line graph, and here it's a fill, right? We'll say the true, so you can see the some background color, right? So let's select the country, and you can see the graph color. Now this is sky blue color with some opacity, so that you can change over here. Background color, you can change the color, as well as the fourth parameter is the opacity. You can increase or decrease the opacity if you're interested. Border color, width, all are given, right? Point color, so you can just change the color. You can see the change, what color are changing over here. So it is in my first data set. You see my first data set. So here we are going to say corona virus across the country. Let's reload it, and coronavirus across the country. So yep, and this is the Albania total confirmed cases, and this is the graph report. You can also see the last 30 days data. So guys, this is working very fine. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can support me, right?